After the deputies and troopers had been on scene for several minutes, gunfire erupted. One male civilian was killed at the scene.
After being on scene for less than 10 minutes, gunfire erupted. As the director stated, the suspect died from injuries he received from gunshot wounds.
Multiple law enforcement agencies responded immediately when the call went out. We want to thank all of those departments for their assistance this morning, and as this investigation continues,
Welcome into the KCTV 5 Plus streaming desk. I'm Katie Bird. This afternoon, we're tracking breaking news right here in the KCTV 5 newsroom. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation has confirmed that 3 Osage County deputies and a Kansas Highway Patrol trooper were shot just this morning. The 3 Osage County deputies were taken to Stormont Vale, and the trooper was originally taken there as well, but then taken to KU Med for further treatment. Now, if you're just now joining us, we just heard a few clips from a press conference out of Topeka with the latest information in this development. So the Kansas Bureau of Investigation has also confirmed that one male civilian who is the suspect was shot and killed in this incident. A second man was wounded. Now, authorities say that this man's condition has stabilized. Now, the Kansas Highway Patrol, that this was stemming from an incident this morning in Osage County involving both the Highway Patrol and the Osage County Sheriff's Office. We are working with WIBW out of Topeka to get you guys the latest here on this story. So again, I do want to go ahead and walk you guys through what we know. And we do have scene footage from very recently. Again, I do want to go ahead and play up a few clips from that press conference.
After the deputies and troopers had been on scene for several minutes, gunfire erupted. One male civilian was killed at the scene.
After being on scene for less than 10 minutes, gunfire erupted. As the director stated, the suspect died from injuries he received from gunshot wounds.
Multiple law enforcement agencies responded immediately when the call went out. We want to thank all of those departments for their assistance this morning, and as this investigation continues,
Again, you just heard from a press conference from the Kansas Bureau of Investigation. Again, I do want to go ahead and walk you guys through what we know. Here is some scene footage from that incident. Kansas Highway Patrol has said this incident has concluded. There is no longer an ongoing threat to the public. And again, 3 deputies and a trooper were shot in Osage County this morning. I want to go ahead and walk you guys through now a bit of a timeline. So what happened here at around 10:30 a.m. on Saturday at a residence north of 113th and South Topeka Boulevard, there was an exchange of gunfire, leaving one suspect dead, another man in stable condition. Again, we are working through what we know right now, and I do want to go ahead and walk you guys through a little bit more. So the Topeka Police Department also posted on social media that they are also sending officers to assist in what they called a developing situation in Osage County. Again, this was previously. Now they said there is no longer an ongoing threat to the public. Now, I do have an embedded map here I want to pull up for you guys in just a second in case you are familiar with this area here. Again, here is a look, a Google map we have pulled up here of where this exchange of gunfire took place, zooming in just a little bit here. So this was around 10:30 a.m. on Saturday morning at a residence north of 113th and South Topeka Boulevard. It's in Carbondale, north of Carbondale, in Osage County, Kansas. Again, multiple law enforcement officers were injured. We now know it was 3 deputies and a trooper were shot. You know, the Kansas Bureau of Investigation, along with the Kansas Highway Patrol and other responding agencies, they're still working to piece together what led up to the shooting. They're also working to piece together, we don't exactly know the identities of the suspects or the trooper or 3 deputies involved. Again, make sure you do have the KCTV5 push alerts on for the latest updates in this. I know we do have a lot of new viewers on this stream. I want to go ahead and play a few clips that we received from WIBW in a press conference. These are the latest developments in this deputy-involved shooting. Take a listen in.
After the deputies and troopers had been on scene for several minutes, gunfire erupted. 1 male civilian was killed at the scene.
After being on scene for less than 10 minutes, gunfire erupted. As the director stated, the suspect died from injuries he received from gunshot wounds.
Multiple law enforcement agencies responded immediately when the call went out. We want to thank all of those departments for their assistance this morning, and as this investigation continues.
Again, this ongoing investigation comes as 3 deputies and a trooper were shot in Osage County, Kansas. You can take a look. Countless emergency response vehicles on the scene in the area of 11200 South Topeka Avenue there. I do want to go ahead and specify it's north of Carbondale and Osage County. We do have very limited information here at KCTV, but we are going to go ahead and walk you guys through again what we know. The Kansas Highway Patrol says that this incident has concluded. There is not an ongoing threat to the public, and again, multiple law enforcements were injured and are being treated at area hospitals. 3 of them are at Stormont Vale. The 4th, who is the trooper, they were originally taken to Stormont, but then taken to the KU Med Center for further treatment. And you can see there is an emergency airlift. I think that is going from Stormont Vale to KU Med for that trooper to receive treatment. Again, 3 Osage County deputies and a Kansas Highway Patrol trooper were shot this morning at a residence north of 113th and South Topeka Boulevard. It is north of Carbondale in Osage County. Again, we don't know the identities of the suspect or of the 3 deputies injured or the 1 trooper. Those are all things that we will be covering here in the coming hours on the KCTV5 news desk. And again, we do have limited footage. We do have limited information, but again, we did want to provide you guys with a live update here as this is a developing, ongoing
After
story.
the deputies and
Earlier
troopers
this
had been on
morning as well, Shawnee County Sheriff Brian Hill confirmed that his agency was among several on the scene in Osage County. They assisted at a reported officer-involved shooting. Again, several first responders, law enforcement were injured. The suspect is dead, and a second person, a second man, he's considered to be in stable condition. Now, again, this happened at around 10:30 a.m. on Saturday at a residence north of 113th and South Topeka Boulevard. I do have an embedded map again for those who are familiar with the area. I know we do have a lot of new viewers here on this stream, so I want to go ahead and pull that up for you. Take a look here, zooming out just a little bit there. You can see that this is north of the area of Mineral Springs, south of Wakarusa. Again, this is south of Topeka. We are covering it along with our sister station WIBW out of Topeka, Kansas. Again, this is an ongoing situation. We do have lots of new people here on the stream. I want to go ahead and play those few clips from the press conference that we did receive from WIBW just recently. Take a listen in.
After the deputies and troopers had been on scene for several minutes, gunfire erupted. One male civilian was killed at the scene.
After being on scene for less than 10 minutes, gunfire erupted. As the director stated, the suspect died from injuries he received from gunshot wounds.
Multiple law enforcement agencies responded immediately when the call went out. We want to thank all of those departments for their assistance this morning, and as this investigation continues.
And again, we do not know what led up to the exchange of gunfire. We also don't know the identity of the suspect or the 4 law enforcement officers who are being treated for their injuries. Again, this happened just around 10:30 a.m. this morning south of Topeka, Kansas. The Kansas Highway Patrol, Kansas Bureau of Investigation are actively working on this to piece together what led up. We do know that a Kansas trooper was airlifted from a local hospital to KU Med to receive additional treatment for their injuries. We also are not sure yet the extent of the injuries. We do not know this, but I do want to go ahead and take a look at your screen here. This is the latest scene footage. You can see there is that Kansas Highway Patrol trooper being airlifted from the local hospital to KU Med for treatment. Again, our thoughts do go out to those who were hurt today. And taking a look one more time at this embedded map here, I do want to clarify that it happened in the area of South Topeka Boulevard and 113th. It's north of Carbondale in Osage County. This incident is no longer active. It has concluded, and officials do want the public to know that there is not an ongoing threat to the public. Again, multiple law enforcements have been injured. I do want to go ahead and get off of this stream now as this is all we know, but make sure to stay connected on the KCTV5 news app as well as the KCTV5 website so you can stay up to date with the latest in this investigation. Thanks so much for tuning in and have a great weekend, everyone.